Alright, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to make your first million in crypto. I'm going to be giving you guys about 7 to 10 different tips to help me make my first million in crypto before 30. And as always, I've been an entrepreneur since 19 years old. And so, opportunity comes, opportunity goes in different markets, whether you're in real estate, whether you're in solar sales, whether you're in just an everyday 9 to 5. Getting into the crypto market, it's very, very risky, but also it's very, very rewarding. And in this video, I want to share with you what helped me along my journey, because when you can take this approach to the market, whether you hold XRP, XLM, Chainlink, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Shiba Inu, you're into DePIN, you're into real world assets, you're into different sectors of crypto like artificial intelligence and gaming, this will help you approach these markets with a different viewpoint, and seeing things from this viewpoint will allow you to control your emotions during these volatile swings. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, comment 777 if you're feeling bullish, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping that subscribe button. Guys, the sunset out here is absolutely insane in beautiful Miami, Florida, and the real reason why we're doing this is for freedom. So you're going to love this video. Let's run it. All right, welcome back to the channel. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about what it takes to make a million in crypto, because aside from just finding the right project at the right time, buy low, sell high, when we break it down and we simplify things, getting in early is the main key. Don't buy tops, right? Don't buy into emotions. But number one would be embracing volatility, because as opportunity presents itself, instead of fearing the volatility, embrace it as it's the opportunity for potential gains. Because when you buy into a project that's really low, and again, I'm not going to tell you guys to buy or to sell anything. Again, our videos are not for financial advice. It's all educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. Everyone understands that's watching this video as a full-grown adult that crypto is very, very risky. You could lose all your money. In fact, most people lose all their money because they don't embrace volatility. See, volatility is the price you pay for opportunity. A lot of people say during a bear market, well, crypto goes down, 80%, altcoins go down. I wouldn't trade altcoins. I'll just hold Bitcoin because altcoins go down 90 to 99%. Listen, when you start losing past 50 or 60% in the bear market, everything goes down. So Bitcoin's volatile. Bitcoin's the most volatile asset in the world. Then you got altcoins that get even more volatile. So if you don't embrace volatility, if you don't embrace risk and you're scared of risk, you will never make it in these markets. So when we say never invest more than you can afford to lose, that's the truth, because not only legally do we have to say that as content creators, but emotionally, when you do that, you're not betting the family farm. And if you do invest more than you can afford to lose emotionally, and you don't know how to make that money back, then that's how you put yourself in a pickle, and then you resent the markets, when in reality it was your own decision to sell your house and sell your car. It's like that family that sold their house and everything they had, they put it into Bitcoin. They didn't do that when Bitcoin was at $70,000 last bull run. They did that when Bitcoin was at like $300 or $500. And so volatility at an early stage is a good thing, because let's say you buy into an altcoin at $1 and it goes up to $10 and you're still holding, well, then it drops down to $2. Then you're like, oh no, I dropped 80%, but you're still up on your income. So the mentality is, it is an emotional game. So what I want to help you with is the emotional game as we go through these markets. So learning to navigate your emotions, and a good thing that'll help you guys out with this is meditation, right? Ray Dalio talks about it, and I know it sounds like, oh, he's going into hippie guru land here. No, guys, no, it's really helpful. Meditation, hypnosis, that type of stuff to start your day out right and to end your day right, to clear out that stress. Go to the gym, sit in the sauna, do that type of stuff. Go into some hot tubs, do some cold plunges, do this stuff physically, because you live in a physical world. And if you can calm your physical body and you can calm your mind as well too, then when you're approaching the charts, you're going to move with the more calculated approach, and you're going to be very indifferent to the volatility. And so how do you embrace volatility? Well, number 2, stay calm during market fluctuations. And I know that's easier said than done, because when you put in, let's say $5,000 or $10,000, and in a matter of 24 to 48 hours, it drops 20 or 30%, and you're losing $2,000, you never lose unless you sell. And you also never make money unless you sell. So if you can stay calm during the volatility, it can be emotionally taxing, especially during like that later stage of the bull run, when we go parabolic, or in the early stage of a project. But working on your mindset is the real key to that volatility emotional stage. And the way that I do that every single day is I do breathing exercises. So look into Wim Hof. Okay, I'll leave a resource in the description below. And that helps you manage your emotional state. It also helps, alkalize your body. It helps shift your nervous system. It helps get you in a relaxed, meditative state. A lot of the monks, if you study from monks, when they do martial arts, they're in a very relaxed state. And it's what you tell yourself every single day. Instead of saying like, oh no, why is this happening to me? It's like, this is happening for me. And instead of saying, oh no, I'm caught in the storm, no, I am the storm. You're at the center of the storm. You're the creator of your own universe. And I know that sometimes people don't want to hear this stuff. They want to hear, give me the next 100x pick, give me the next 100x altcoin. And then if we share with you guys top picks this whole bull run, well then the moment that it drops a little bit, like 10, 20%, you sell out and then you call it a scam, when in reality, you just had to be patient and you had to work on your emotions to ride that volatility, because it's very, very difficult not to just find 100x, but to hold it through that volatility. Because what's going to stop you from selling when it goes up 10x? What's going to stop you from selling all of it if it goes up 20x and then drops down 17, and then you're only at a 3x and you're like, oh, I should have sold when it was up, and then it rockets up to 40 or 50x 6 months to a year later. Do you have the grit? Do you have the patience to hold for a year, to hold for 2 years when everyone else is telling you to sell? Case in point, XRP. XRP right now has been underperforming compared to the rest of the market. And so will XRP pull 100x? I don't know. It could. It's possible. But realistically, towards the end of this bull run, XRP will do very well. But most people have been holding for 7 years. Do you have that patience to look adversity in the face, to look other people in the face, and just smile when they're telling you to sell everything, telling you that, oh, it's a centralized, crap coin. It's not gonna do anything? Or do you have a diversified portfolio as well too, to be able to benefit from other projects while still believing in your high conviction plays? And so number 3, this is where you have continuous learning and adaptation in the markets. You can't be so rigid. So don't be so rigid, okay? If you are so convicted about something and you think that you can't change your belief about it because what are other people going to think of you because you explain something to them? Who cares about what their opinions are, guys? You need to be flexible. You need to be like water. Like Bruce Lee says, you pour water into a cup, it becomes a cup. If you pour it into a bottle, it becomes a bottle. Now water can flow and water can crash. And so, when you be like water, like the stream going to the ocean of your dreams, then you could be able to adapt your approach and be able to shift and pivot. If one project, for example, changes something up with their team, they change something up with the tokenomics, something happens with regulation, you need to be able to pivot and you need to be able to rotate, but not at the whims of a quick, impulsive decision. You see successful people, they make decisions quickly, but they're very slow to change them, whereas broken middle class and poor people, they're very slow to make decisions. They're very quick to change them. And so you want to be methodical with your decisions, and you're not just like changing things around really quick in your portfolio because emotionally you feel like, oh no, this thing hasn't grown, I can move it into something else real quick. That's where the patience come into place. So for example, if it takes a while to make your first decision and you're doing it based off your limiting beliefs, then that's something to work on. But if it takes you a while to make a decision because you're doing your own research, that's a different mental state that you're coming from. And so, if someone is impulsively switching around really fast because they just are impatient, well then that's something you got to look at and you got to understand how to deal with that. So adaptation is the key, because you look at how trends move in the space. For example, it started with gaming, then it's AI, then it's DePIN, and then it's real world assets, then it rotates back to like Solana, then it rotates into real world. And so the money's always rotating. But if you're in an industry and in the highest conviction place in a project that are going to be around long term, you don't have to worry about that rotation and be quickly changing your decisions around, not sending your money to another chain really fast, when you can hold in one chain and have long-term conviction in that. And then if, for example, you see the trends moving, the trends changing, well then you want to focus on making more money. Focus on a business on the front end, focus on generating more income, focus on, a side hustle that could be, focus on, like if you're in real estate and you're doing crypto on the side, double down on your business on the front end, make more money so you don't have to sell one project and move it into another one. And then the moment that you sell that project, move it into another one. I've done this a lot of times, guys, because I'm speaking from experience here. I'm not just speaking based on what I think happens. This is what's happened to me, and I know it's happening to a lot of other people out there. Because if you sell a project, for example, because it's not growing, and you find another project with a low market cap that you think is going to grow faster, and you move it into that, usually what happens, God will test you and God will pump the project that you sold. And then you're going to sit there chasing the rallies when you should have just held. So instead, focus on making more money on the front end so you can just hold and you don't have to worry about where revenue is going to come from. And there's a million different ways to do that. The best way to do it is pick one and stick with it for a decade. And if you're in like solar sales, pick that. If you're in real estate, pick that and stick it. Don't change too quick. And it goes back to trying to change things around too quick, right? Some people jump in real estate, they don't get results. They don't close a, they don't sell a home in 6 months to a year or something. They're like, oh, it's just the market's not working. Then they make excuses about the markets. No, it's your ability to sell. And so develop high paying skills and focus on money on the front end and educating yourself and surrounding yourself with people who are winning in that market to have income coming through. Or let's say if you put 10 grand into one project and it doesn't grow for 3 months or 6 months, it's staying steady and stuff, then you're not worried about that because you just make another 10 grand, you put it into something else, and then you check that project a year to 2 years later, and it's up a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x because you didn't touch it. See, you think that activity creates growth, when in reality, you need to take a nap. Naptivity creates growth, right? Activity where you spend time trading the markets, right? Time in the markets always beats timing the markets. And what does that mean? Well, if you buy something and you just hold it, and you forget about it for a few years, and it's a high conviction play in an industry that's not going to go away, like artificial intelligence, real world assets, decentralized physical infrastructure, gaming, crypto gaming, and you feel that that project's going to be around long term, it doesn't mean you completely ignore it. You could check up on it here and there, make sure the team's still doing their stuff, make sure they're still creating new utility, still making partnerships, but you're not just checking the charts every single day and trading in and out, trying to like game the system and trying to time the tops and time the bottoms, because you just have time in the markets. If you're holding for a year or 2 years, and the project goes up 20x, well, you could have maybe, for example, a project goes up 5x and you sell 80% of your position, it drops down more, you're like, yeah, I made a good trade, but then you're shifting your attention over to another chain, and then that project starts to rally out of it, and then you miss that rally when you should have just held that project initially. So that's another major key. Now, the next major key that I wish I would have known starting out is risk management. Because understanding, risk management in crypto, because of the amount of risks that are out there with the amount of rug pulls that there are, would have stopped me from overly investing in one project, doing lump sum purchases. Because, for example, if you're not doing any risk management and you're just focusing on one chain, like Solana chain, and you're just trading meme coins right there, and let's say you have $50,000 to trade with, or $100,000 to trade with, or heck, even $100 to trade with, and you find one meme coin, like you don't even look at the chart, you don't even do anything, you just invest $100 into a meme coin when it's rallying and the hype is strong, and then it drops and you don't have any more money to put in. You didn't put any risk management into that. You didn't dollar cost average anything. You weren't saying, okay, well, I'm gonna look at the chart, I'm gonna look at where we're at in the psychology of a market cycle, I'm gonna be a little patient here, and I'm gonna analyze this, and I'm gonna dollar cost average, $20 right now into this project. Now, you can't do that on the Ethereum chain because of gas fees, but on Solana, you can do that on Solana, or you can do that on the base chain, the layer 2, because of gas fees being very, very low. And so if you're brand new, a lot of people wonder, what is the amount to start with? What should they start with? And I'm never gonna tell you the exact amount because it's different from person to person basis, but never invest more than you can afford to lose, obviously. But if you have, let's say, a net worth of $10 million, obviously you're not gonna take all 10 million and put it in crypto. You might take 5%, 10%, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on what your risk tolerance is. So everyone's risk tolerance is different based on, number one, their net worth, number two, their age, and the balls of steel that they have, number three, because if you're older and you have a large net worth, well, you wanna preserve your net worth. You're in a preservation stage of your wealth rather than in more of a risk-taking stage. Whereas if you're 19 years old, you're 25 years old, and you only have, let's say, $10,000 in your bank account, well, if you lose $10,000, you got, 80 years left of life to regain that. So you can take a little more risk. So that's why the next key is being okay with being a little bit riskier if you are a little bit younger, and understand the risk, and also the volatility in the markets like I talked about before. Now, the next thing to understand is community engagement and networking. See, your net worth is determined by your network, because it's not about what you know, it's about who you know in this world. And the people who know the best people and who know the smartest people get that alpha and get that information without having to know it themselves. So for me, when I got into crypto, I didn't really know that much about crypto. I was just surrounding myself with people who did, who understood which projects were going to take off, and then I plugged in with those communities. So if you guys want to plug in with our community and be able to network with other people when we launch our crypto education platform, and you also want to get access to our 100x underground guidebook showing you how to find 100x altcoins, then you can click the link in the description below, go to bullrunners.com, put in your best information, your email address. You'll be instantly subscribed to our daily video newsletter, and we'll update you guys first. And also, we're going to open the doors for, our private group chat, all that cool stuff, so you guys can be able to network with whales, network with winners, and get top-notch alpha. That's the real key. And Think and Grow Rich talks about your network, okay? Because you don't need to know everything. See, using your mind as a warehouse for facts is a waste of your creative faculties. A lot of people like to memorize, and that's what school is designed to do, get you to memorize all this information so you stop dreaming and focusing on visualization and the actual truth behind manifestation. So when I dropped out of school at 19 years old, I didn't stop my education. A lot of people think that college dropouts are uneducated. No, that's when my education finally started, because I stopped focusing on formal education. I started focusing on self-education. I spent another decade, and I still do it every single day. I'm never gonna stop learning. The reason why people, either not go broke, the reason why people stay stagnant, there's lots of reasons why people go broke, but the reason why people stay stagnant is because when their schooling stops, they stop educating themselves. The reason why people get rich is when their schooling stops, that's when their self-education begins. Because formal education will make you a living, which is fine, nothing wrong with that, but self-education will make you a fortune, which is super fine, and I'm fine with that. What are you fine with, right? What do you want to live? Do you want to live a steady lifestyle, have steady income, or do you want to have, the low volatility where you're going to have some good months, some bad months, and then some amazing months, some bad months, and your market cycle of your own finances might move like the crypto chart sometimes if you're heavily invested in crypto. So then you can diversify after this bull run into real estate, but it's how you scale wealth fast in the investing space. And so also educating yourself in the right information, in the right skills, because a lifetime spent educating yourself in the wrong career will yield you the results of the cap, meaning that there's an income cap of the top person in your space. For example, in the NBA, there's the top salary of the top NBA player, so you know at least what that cap is. Well, in the at your job, what's the cap of the top employment at your job? You see what that cap is, and you'll never go beyond that cap, because the moment that you hit the cap, you get pushed down by the other people around you. So when you work for yourself, there is no cap. When you're in an industry that has no limit on how much you can make, then the cap is on your own self-belief. So the next key is maintaining a healthy perspective. And crypto investing is exciting, and it's easy to get down a unhealthy perspective about it and think that, it's just crap, it's nonsense, it's never gonna work, and that's who you surround yourself with. So when you surround yourself with people that have a healthy perspective, through osmosis in the spiritual realm, it rubs off on you because you are who you spend your time with, right? So how do you develop a healthy perspective? How do you develop a healthy mindset? Well, you just surround yourself with people who have that healthy mindset. You subscribe to the channel, you watch videos like this. If you guys wanna see more content like this, where I'm just sharing with you more of a philosophical approach to the markets, because I like to dive into the charts, analytical, but I would argue that 99% of success is mental, emotional, and then the physical comes after that. And so if you can line up your mind with your heart, and you can tap into the right frame of energy and live that, then success will come to you. Because in my opinion, success is not a destination, it's a vibration. And so if you can get your mind and your heart in the right synchronization, then the vibrational frequency that you resonate at will manifest the lifestyle that you want. And I mean, this condo right here, I'm not just renting this, this is my condo that I own. So I visualized this from 2012 on the lifestyle that I wanted. And like Wim Hof says, feeling is understanding. Well, also living is understanding. If you're able to manifest the lifestyle that you want, then you actually understand that it's the truth. It's not just fake, right? If you're actually able to manifest yourself, a Rolls Royce, an Audi R8, a Bugatti, trips around the world from what you see in your mind, and it comes to happen in the physical world, just do more of that. It's not difficult, but the difficult part is not doing the easy stuff. Like when you wake up in the morning, what do? Do you go and do you eat McDonald's, fast food every single day? Do you then go to a job, drive in the job? Do you turn on the radio and do you listen to music? Or do you turn on the radio, do you listen to Think and Grow Rich? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you listen to audios? Do you listen to information that's going to improve your mind? What are you doing? So George Saluki said it best. He said, in order for things in your life to change, you have to be the one to change things in your life. That was the most profound thing I ever heard, because it wasn't what I wanted to hear. It's what I needed to hear, right? And if I look at it, I'm like, well, what if when Trump gets in office, then things will be better? No, guys, no, absolutely not. It doesn't matter who's the president, whether it's Biden, whether it's Trump, whether it's anybody. It doesn't matter, because they're not going to change things for you. They're not going to give you a raise. Sure, they might help out some things, but the reality is you have to take full accountability for your results or your lack of results in your own life. And what is that called? It's called being an adult. And I know some of you need to hear that are older than me. Maybe you're 50, 60, 70 years old. And a lot of full-grown adults, I realize, are really kids, because they haven't learned to manage their emotional state. Just simple point blank period as an example, driving down a freeway. Look at how pissed off people get. They just hold on their horns out here in Miami. They're children, right? It's little children inside. So when you can grow up, you can take responsibility for your own emotions and not blame anybody else for your lack of success. Then that's not only when you step into adulthood, but you step into success too. Because every single successful person that I know, they take full accountability for everything, and everything is always their fault. So if I walk down the street and a car hits me, that's my fault. It's not their fault, even if they weren't looking, because I walked down the wrong street at the wrong time. I was manifesting that. That's my mentality on things. And so, for example, if something just so random happens to me that it literally looks like it's not my fault, like I'm walking down the street and someone throws something at my head and it hits me in the head, that's my fault. It's not their fault, right? And the reason why is because there was something that I did prior in my emotional state and in my thought that manifested that to happen to me. Because every single thing that happens to you is a result of your thoughts and your feelings synchronizing together and going out there in the universe to bring it back to you. And that's the truth. That's how things work, guys. And it's not my opinion. The way that I could put it, it's sacred information passed down and leaked out from secret societies that has gotten out to the public. And it's not so secret anymore. It's common sense at this point. And sometimes common sense isn't so common, because people are looking for a scratch-off lottery ticket answer for how things work in their life. And I'm not a guru. I'm still learning every single day. I make a lot of mistakes, but I take accountability for those. I manage my risk properly. I understand that if I'm going to lose money in these markets, it's my own fault. It's nobody else's fault. So if you guys agree with that, if you found value in this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you want to surround yourself with winners, if you want to surround yourself with people that are bullish, man, that are making a lot of money, that want to be around cool people and do cool things and just crush it in these markets, in the bull run and outside the bull run when we go into a bear market, then make sure you go to bullrunners.com, because you know what we're doing. We're backing up our truck all the way to the bank, we're grabbing the bags, we're packing them and stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going down in value. That's the truth. And that's a fact based on inflation. The Federal Reserve is printing more money than ever before. So therefore, crypto, real estate, precious metals, it's forced asset appreciation. Everything's going to go up. Now, sure, there could be crashes on the horizon. In fact, there are more than likely going to be some big crashes, bigger than 1929, just because there's more liquidity in the system. But would you rather have your money in something that slowly bleeds out, or would you rather have your money in something that has the potential to make you extremely wealthy? Because crypto, distributed ledger technology, is going up in value. That's the truth. And together, you know where we're going. We're going camping on the beaches of the moon. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.